Hi, everybody. Welcome to Kiss for Luck. I'm Steve.
I'm Charisse.
And the third leg of our stool, our pyramid, our triangle, whatever else has three legs and things. Mike, Mike Crutchfield from Northern California. Hi, Mike. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Love to hook up with my Southern California family and got another brother on the show today.
That's right. We sure do. And he's from down our way, a little further down below where we are, down the San Diego County area. And this, ladies and gentlemen, you probably know Andy Asaro. He is a longtime handicapper, and we'll talk a little bit more about all the things that he has done and how he's affected the industry. Yes, he will. And
Yeah.
welcome, Andy, to the show.
Thank
All right.
you. Thanks for having me on. Looking forward to the rest of the
All
show.
right. Oh, I hear call to the post in the background. That is the time to start the show, shall we? All right. Well, we got Charisse dancing and happy. Why are we dancing and happy this particular day, Charisse?
Steve and I hit the late P5 at Oaklawn on Sunday for $12,600
Right on,
Eh,
right on.
for
Yeah,
50 in a $54 ticket.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love
We
hearing
were,
story. I love seeing people win.
yeah.
Uh,
So do
when
I.
Especially, yeah, yeah. Well, let me tell you something, Andy, it was a weird day to begin with. And
Now,
first of all, I want to say congratulations to my husband. He did give out the late pick four last week for Saturday at Gulfstream that paid 277, and yours truly finally gave out a winning pick three for last Friday at Santa Anita on a $12 ticket that paid 106 and change. But
hey, nothing wrong with a $106 win it for 12 bucks.
yes.
No.
But the wonderful part of the weekend was Saturday afternoon being at Santa Anita with our bestest friends and having these horses come in. And Steve, you want to start from the first leg of the pick five really quick?
Yeah, I mean, I got it up. I certainly have my circles all okay. I get the readers, of course. I'm not that young. Yeah, so the first leg here, it started off kind of nice. We ended up getting the second or third choice there, Fancy Fairlane in the eighth race, and that was Velasquez on board for Greg Foley, and that ended up starting off the things pretty well. Thankfully, Explora was nice in the second leg, and it's always nice
Single.
to have a single. And Explorer took care of business there with Baffert. I appreciate that. And then in the 10th race, we had a couple of horses. I had the 2 and the 10. We had Banksy's and we had Getsemane. Getsemane. I don't know how to pronounce it really with Brad Cox, but that horse won, and that was second choice. Again, trending well. We got one favorite so far, not bad. And then the 11th race I spread, thank goodness. That was the Rebel.
No. Oh
And
yeah, yeah.
that race was I just thought at 10 to 1 class president with Pletcher and Velasquez, man, that just they let that one go off way, 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 way too easy. So we ended up getting that at 8 to 1, which definitely helped matters greatly. And again, Mike, it's a horse I always talk about. If they have two or three starts, if they're getting better every race, and that's exactly what he was doing. I mean, he probably had a mid to high 90s buyers on that one where he had 79 and 88 coming into it. So getting better all the time. So then the last race, I loved the one, I loved the seven. And so what ended up happening was I had 1-7. So I saw Charisse was done. She always gets her hair done and everything nice and early on race day when we're going to the track. So she gets her everything done. And I see her just kind of sitting on the bed, listening to the morning show and kind of handicapping on her iPad. So I sat there. I said, all right, let's handicap this thing at Oaklawn. So we get to the last race. I had the 1 and the 7, and she said, I kind of like this 6. I know it's a
Mm.
bomb, but I like the 6. She's my last call. And she says, I have no idea who the heck these two people are here. It's
The jockey and trainer.
yeah, Melton Wilson and Bielmir is the jockey. Well, I've heard of Bielmir. I mean, he gets some mounts. Heard of that guy, but I've not heard of Melton Wilson. You know, he's had 102 starts all of 2025. So, but I looked, and these two jockey and trainer combo they've run once in 25 and 26, and it was an $84 winner. And I thought,
Uh-huh.
you might have something, Charisse. Let's put him in. Why not? We'll just make
I
the ticket
think
a little bigger.
I think she showed a little speed in a route or something, if I
Yeah.
recall, and there was
Yes.
a
Uh-huh.
layoff.
Yep, she
I
sure
I
did.
think I used 4 horses in there, and that was like my fifth one that I should have used. But I'm
Uh-huh.
glad you guys hit it.
And,
Well,
and that one was, you're right on that. And it was the old, and that was the other thing I saw was first time Lasix, because that one speed and fade before you can use Lasix when you're 2 years old. And then all of a sudden now you're
Right.
3, you're getting Lasix. So, it lined up like, why the heck not? Let's throw that horse in there. And it was,
Right.
it's carrying 118 pounds and Seven was carrying 124. So I threw it in. And so we're at, so the one scratches, and I throw the 13 in with Bejarano on the outside because that's a Bejarano move. If I've ever seen it from the outside, he'll try to either come all the way on the outside and get in front and try to milk it on the lead, or just sit in the back and make that one big move on the outside because Bejarano is always afraid to go in between horses. I mean, that's a
Yeah.
well-known fact.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
Yeah.
I thought Bejarano in the 13 hole or the hole with speed, you got to put him in. So I put him in. He didn't get to the lead, and that was it for him. But the 6 goes out to the lead, and we're yelling and screaming. And, of course, nobody's got that horse. We're in front runners in Santa Anita. We're up there yelling and screaming for it because, I mean, 12 grand, that's a pretty good hit.
Yeah.
And, son of a gun, if it didn't go wire to wire and made our day, and we're screaming and yelling, high five, and everyone's looking at us like, what did they hit? Because it was in between races at Santa Anita. It's like, what
Yeah.
are they watching on TV? It's like, yeah, we're watching a win. So that was a fun day. Fun day
and
indeed.
Mike,
Yeah.
I did bet the horse across the board.
Good.
He went off at 49-1.
Nice.
And
Good.
I told
Very.
Caroline, I said, because she didn't want to do the pick 5 ticket with us. She would have had half of it.
Oh.
You
Because
don't want to do it.
when she gave Steve her picks, the ticket was 108 or something. Caroline goes,
108.
54 bucks each. I can't win lately. No, you do your ticket, I'll do mine. Well, of course, she was out of it. So I told her, I said, put at least $2 across the board on this.
Yeah.
In this race, she goes, why do you like that horse? I said, I just have a feeling. Trust me, just do it.
Just do it.
And she
Yeah.
did it. She did. She bet to win only. Thank God the horse won. But yeah, and then my favorite bet of all time, Andy, is when I have a price horse, I like to go that horse to all in an exacta. That's it, right? I forgot to do it.
Oh.
What did it
What is
pay?
that?
Six
795 for $1.
for a dollar.
Wow. Wow.
I know.
Yeah.
And Caroline said, we didn't do our exacta bet. I said, oh my
I
God.
know.
But we were celebrating at Los Al that night, but it was
Yeah,
fun. We
it
did
was
the
a good
double
time.
header. Yeah.
Yeah, and we ended up winning at Los Al as
Yeah.
well, and so we did one
Nice.
night racing, day racing. What a day. Yeah,
I
was
haven't
fun.
I haven't done that like double header for many, many years, but
Oh, we love
I
it.
used to do that. I even one time went from Santa Anita after it was over, drove all the way to Tijuana for the Greyhound races
Oh my
and
God.
stayed there. I mean, very sick in the head and
Wow.
very, very sick.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
great.
We used to call when we were running, we owned quite a few horses at Los Al, night racing, the cheaper
Right,
thoroughbreds.
right.
And we would call it the 405 double because we would go to Hollywood Park during the day and race to Los Al to see our horses run. And then it became the 605 double when Hollywood Park closed and
Right.
we were at Santa Anita. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we did that for sure.
yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into some handicapping. You're only as good as your last win. So, Mike,
Yep.
give us a win, Mike. Where are you going for your picks?
Well, I'm gonna go Friday's card at Aqueduct, and
Okay.
I'm gonna go to the late pick pick five. No matter what I do here, I'm not going to be able to get this to pay $12,000. I just want to be clear on that. But I do have
Okay.
some, yeah, I do have some horses that I think are going to be prevalent and horses that I think have a really good chance to run well and win, and some prices as well.
Okay.
So we'll go ahead and we'll start in the third race, and I'm going to use three horses there. The first horse I'm going to use is a number one, Majestic Run. That horse gets back to a fast track and should like that. It's the 8-5 favorite, not a big deal there. I don't think it'll go off the favorite. And then I'm going to use the number three, Proudfoot.
Yeah.
And my top selection is going to be the number two, Edistratus at 10 to
Okay.
1. Coming from Oaklawn, I figured I wanted some Oaklawn vibe. Coming from Oaklawn, dropping down in class, these are going to be easier at 10 to 1. I think that horse has an excellent chance to get all the candy.
All right. One, two, three.
Yeah. And let's go to the fourth race. Again, I'm going to use, and this is a $108 ticket. Okay. So
Hmm.
please feel free to add or deduct whatever for the players out there. I always encourage if you like something else, add it, or you don't like one of mine's, deduct it. That's fine. It won't hurt my feelings. Just, as long as you win is all I care about. So
Yeah.
the fourth race, we're going to use three horses again. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna use the number two. That is the favorite. I think that this is Linda Rice. Linda Rice is just training out of her mind.
Yeah.
At 27%. I've never seen anybody in New York do this. Andy, you might have more experience with New York, but she's just training out of her mind. So I gotta use the two. And my top selection is going to be the three, Cadena, and that's the only speed in the race, and has won his last two. The horse is 6 to 1 on the line, so I'm going to use him, and then I'm going to also throw in the four, Vanilla.
Okay.
So
All
two,
right.
three, four.
Wow, you're making it
Okay.
nice and even there. One, two, three, and two, three, four.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Okay, and so the fifth race, I'm going to use three horses again. I'm going to use the two other people's money, and I'm going to use the number six. I'm going to use Waveless, and my top selection is going to be the number three, Sell Away, and that horse is 8 to 1 on the line. I like the jockey. The trainer is going to get his main guy. He gets rid of Severa, and he's going to get his main guy, which they're at 19% and has an ROI of 453. So I like the three at 8 to 1 for my
Okay.
top selection.
Excellent. Two, three, six. All right. Race
Yep.
six.
Okay, race six. I'm going to use three horses again. I'm going to use the number two. And this horse, Baron of Sealand, really freaked the last time. So if he runs that race, good, it's going to be hard for everybody to beat him. But I think that horse is a horse that you got to beat. And I'm going to use two more. I'm going to use the five. I'm going to use the five, Rafua. And then I'm going to use the seven is the horse Alan Terrain it's going to be my top selection. Gets Manny Franco, good jockey trainer combination, 25%, got a good ROI, and so that'll be my top selection. The number seven, Alan Terrain.
All righty.
Okay, and let's go to the seventh race and the final race. I'm really sad about this. One of my favorite horses that owes me nothing, Sheriff Bianco. We talked about this horse a few weeks ago. Linda Rice's horse. This horse, she's given up on him. This horse is dropping from his first race back. was in for 45,000. Now is in for 20. This horse owes nobody nothing. But I just wanted to, although it's not going to be on my ticket, I just wanted to call out what a warrior, what a great, horse. I believe she claimed this horse for, like 30,000 or something like that. And, this horse ended up almost being a millionaire, so
Yep.
I just want to call that horse out. But I'm going to use the number 8, High Tide, Dutro, and I believe Dutro and Pratt. He is starting to use Pratt and a lot, so I think you got to watch that.
Sure.
That combination. I think that they're going to be deadly, and I think you got to use the number 5, Kiss Me, Hold Me, Thrill Me. I love that name. A cool name, Andy. That, back in our younger days, I'm sure people were saying
Right.
that to both of us, but
I still sing it to Steve.
Oh,
I
come
didn't want to
on.
throw Steve in there because I didn't want Andy and I to get in trouble. So, I'll just leave it at Andy and I, two good, tall, good-looking guys. So,
Okay. All right.
Steve, you're good looking too, but I'm not going to get you in this conversation.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, stop while you're behind.
Yeah, stop while I'm ahead. And then I'm going to use the number 2 first. I think you got to go deep here. First trumpet, and then my top selection again is going to be 15-1. And I think that although this horse is coming out of a non-winners of 2 race, I think the horse is improving. And sometimes I love to play them when they start improving. This horse is 15-1. Well, yeah, 15-1 on the morning line. Solo dancer, and those are my selections.
Fantastic. Well, you've got some good prices in there, my friend, and hopefully we can connect on them. That's always our
Yes.
Absolutely.
hope. Yeah, you got it. Well, Charisse, what do you have for us, my dear?
Okay, are you ready? Ready,
I'm
Mark?
Yeah,
ready to hold me,
I'm
thrill
ready
me,
now.
whatever
Okay.
me.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna do a $24 late pick 5 for Saturday at Santa Anita, Big Cap Day, and it's gonna morph into a $12 late pick 4. So wish me luck. These fields are crazy, but anyway.
Yep.
Okay, 7th race. You want to cut the ticket down to 12. I say single the 3 at 15-1. Prove your point. Mark Glatt, first time starter.
Hmm.
Interesting Ricardo Gonzalez's riding, but if you look at the workouts on this horse, as Mark Glatt does, he'll work him real hard once. He'll let him just kind of loaf around the next time, then he'll press him again as he's getting him ready. And this is exactly what he's doing to this horse. A Justify, is it a filly? It's a filly. Justify filly and Saints or Sinners or Agnew, which are big owners of his, paid 550,000 for this horse. I say if you want a single, do that. However, I do have a 20-1 shot. I want to add to that in the pick 5, and it is Samantha Siegel's homebred, long time racing friend of ours. Number 12, Medjugorje. I
I
guess
was
I could
wondering if you
text.
could pronounce that.
You know
Sounds
what?
good to me.
I'm gonna text her and ask her how do I pronounce that, and I'm going to learn how to pronounce that. But it's a City of Light that she bred to. I remember this filly when she ran Aunt Luby. Aunt
Yeah.
Luby's the mama. And okay, this horse is on the outside for 6 furlongs on the grass. You got DeMuro on him and Richard Mandela, who, I mean, he's 15% first time out, but he's not going to press them, certainly. But I think on the outside, I think this horse can get position and go. And it looks like this horse might have some speed by the workout. So that's the 12. Then we go to the 8th race, the second leg of the pick 5, the first leg of the pick 4. I am going to use number 4, Brant. How can you not use Brant? Okay. But I am going to use the horse that I've been watching for the Kentucky Derby, which is So Happy, for Mark Glatt. And I
Hmm.
know there's a lot of sentiment going around the track with this horse. Um, we met Mark Glatt in the winner's circle last weekend when a friend of ours horse won, and he just lost his wife, Dina. And I met his daughter, Madison. And 2 days after she passed last month, this horse, or no, it was another horse that won. I'm sorry, but they had a picture of Dina in the winner's circle. And they wrote an article on Dina in DRF, I think today, saying that it's going to be a very heartfelt race with So Happy because she was there for his win. And anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
got to go with that horse. If you want to single that horse, great. But Brant is going to be tough. Okay, the ninth race, I'm going to use the 4 Gas Me Up, Demuro again for Peter Urton this time.
Mhm.
And I'm going to use Georgie P's horse, my favorite horse, Cabo Spirit. Mikey gets in the irons again. I got to use this horse. I always use this horse. I had this horse when he won at Del Mar, what, a year ago at 28 to 1 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I like the horse. So I'm going to use those two. In the 10th race, I'm going to use my vodka by Stay
Ah,
Thirsty, and still one of my favorite riders, Kent DeSormo, who gave us many wins. But Kent, you can do this on vodka, but you're going to have to beat the 7. I think Westwood is the key in this race. Again, a sentimental play as well. John Shirreffs. He will be looking down from heaven,
Mhm.
and this horse might just do it. So I say use 4 and 7. Last leg, race 11, I'm going to use the 1 because Steve told me to use the 1. So I'm going to use the 1. But
okay.
I'm also going to use the 7 as my top pick with JJ Hernandez and again Mark Glatt. I think this could be a amazing day for the Glatt family. Infinitum, the number 7, and I'm going to also use the 9, King of Dragons, for Peter Urton again with Hector Barrios on board. So again, if you want to use the full ticket, it's 24 for the pick 5 and it's 12 for the late pick 4.
Got
Okay,
it.
there you go.
Good
Well,
luck.
that's my wife. She always gives very conservative tickets, and she claims I don't give her any money to bet, Andy. So
Right.
that's the running joke every week. So anyway,
It's
well,
just a joke, Andy.
it is. It is. We go with it. All right, Andy. So I know that you're going to try to save your brain cells for the NHC in
Yes.
0 - 8 days. So I'm not going to ask you to dig into a pick 5, pick 6, pick whatever. But have you looked at Tampa Bay?
Yes. Saturday Tampa Bay Derby versus 400,000.
Hmm.
Um, it looks to me like there's a lot of early speed in there, and it could develop into a duel. Um, I'm gonna put the 5 Power Shift on top,
Mm.
and my horses underneath would be the number 2 Talkin' at 15 to 1, the 6 Further Ado at 9 to 5, and the 9 Canaletto at 5 to 2. Um, Power Shift. Todd Pletcher started him at a 2-turn race. He's well bred and ran a great second. And I think he's the one. He will come off the pace if a duel develops. So it's going to be a fun race to watch because I'm watching all the Derby preps.
Yeah.
My crew from the neighborhood is going to go up to Vegas, and we're going to the Durango, and we have a table reserved in the sports book, and
Yep.
Love
we're going to do a Kentucky Derby thing up there. So
awesome.
Oh, that's
uh,
great. Yeah.
all these Derby preps are kind of exciting.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, we are very partial to Durango. We spent a weekend there for football last playoff season, the one before this playoff season, about a
Right,
year ago, and we had a little table off to the side there where we had a view of the horses and the football,
right, right.
and we were able to grab that
I
table, and it
I,
worked out great.
I normally go to the Green Valley Ranch, which is a station casino,
Yep.
and they
Yep.
cater more to horse players there. But they
Mhm.
were sold out for Derby weekend, so I
Oh,
chose the Durango, which I've been to before, and it's an up and coming casino, man. It's
Yeah.
3 years old. They're doing so well. They're building another tower.
Wow.
Uh, Lots of good places to eat. So,
hmm.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a station casino guy. The South Point is
Yeah.
a great value,
Yep.
but Green Valley Ranch I probably like the best.
I
I'm with
agree.
you. I'm with you. Yeah, I do
Yeah.
like Green Valley.
Yeah. I like it. And it's a little more convenient because it's on the southeast end of Vegas versus Red Rocks, where you got to go all the way up and around the corner.
I,
But yeah,
I think it's God, I hate to say this, but Green Valley Ranch, I think is for more for people that are 50 and older,
yeah,
Hmm.
right. Yeah.
whereas Durango's a lot younger,
Yeah,
more action. So I like the relaxed atmosphere of Green
Yep.
Valley Ranch.
Right.
yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Love it.
They've got some great food at that restaurant behind the at the George. What we did when we were there, we reserved our table, put our stuff on it, and we just walked right up to the tables there, right behind the sports book,
Right,
and had a great breakfast brunch.
right.
But you're right, man. There's some really good food there. We're going there for our anniversary, April 1st through 4th,
Nice.
and then and we're going to go to the summer house. That's where we're going to start our activities in Vegas. We're going to do an old school Vegas deal. We're gonna this is our goal. We're going to try to see Barry Manilow and Wayne Newton. So
There you
Right
go.
on. Sounds good.
let's see
Sounds
how we
good to
do.
me.
Mm.
Got to see these guys before they don't play anymore.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna do I'm going back to the well. Why not? I'm playing with Oaklawn House money now, so I might as well go there, pick five. And this is gonna be Saturday, starting in race 7. It's a late pick five. So I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna put the one arrow star. It's a 5-2 morning line. This is Wayne Potts and Arietta on board. I like the 6 as well. I got no money. And that's
You
type
can't
A.
say that now. You can't say that now.
It's the name of the horse, Mike. That's all I can say.
Yes, there you go.
Actually, a couple of weeks ago, I picked out the horse. I got wrecked. But
Okay.
I'm just kidding. So I got no money. I'm putting that one in, and maybe we get lucky on the 8 Holiday House. Torres is on board for Henaro Garcia. They're very competitive. They're right in the money at this level. This is a 16 claimer, so I think the 8's got a really good shot. So I'm going to start off with 168 in the first race, and the 8th race is a maiden 20. Again, not that easy to pick out people in maiden 20s here, but I'm going to go with the 3 Saving Heart. That's a 7-2 morning line. It's a Randy Morse horse. Very competitive at this level and higher. They're dropping it. Gunfire, the 5 horse. That's with Abel Cedillo for Scott Becker. I'm putting the 7 in there. Capital Connection, the Asmussen Connection, Steve and his kid, Mr. KJ Asmussen. Capital Connection 92. So I'm going to go those horses in that leg. The Azeri is the 9th race, mile and a 16th. It's a grade 2. I'm gonna single nitrogen. I'm not gonna try to get funny there. It worked last week when I tried this, and let's just see if he can't get going here. I mean, he won the Bayakoa in February. I think that was a little tester for Mark Casse to see if he liked the track, and he liked what he saw there. He did, so he's going to run him right back and try to win it again. So I'm gonna put nitrogen in there as a single in the 10th race. We got a $125,000 allowance race, something you don't see in California, but they see it at Oaklawn Park with their racinos. So you got a mile and a 16th. I'm going to put the number one, which is number one dude. The one horse is number one dude, Esquivel on board for Dallas Stewart. I think this horse is got nice speed and it's going to get out there. The closer is going to be the 3 publisher with Asmussen and his other Asmussen. I think it's Eric, right? It's
Mhm.
Eric and what was the other one? Kyle?
Keith.
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 That's it. Okay.
Who's
Anyway.
engaged to Andy Biancone.
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
Yes.
All right. Keep it in the
Yeah.
family here. Keep it
Yeah.
in the racing family. So I'm going to go 1-3 there. I'm also going to put in Fountain Run at 9-2. Anime with Luis Saez on board. Again, I thought Luis Saez would do a little better going down south. He's 18%, but still a very aggressive jockey, and he is competitive down there. I just thought he'd be more like 25% plus.
Yep.
He's just not quite getting the mounts that the other guys do. But I'm putting the 4 in there, Fountain Run. And I'm also putting a bomb in there, exactly what I was talking about a little earlier about Bejarano. Bejarano's on a Tom Amos horse on the outside. It's in my blood.
He's
And
hurt. Bejarano was hurt, I believe. And Andy, I don't know if you know about this, but didn't he? I think he was in a spill and
Oh
broke his
no.
collarbone. Did you hear about that, Andy?
no,
No, I do recall hearing about somebody that broke their collarbone, but I don't know if it was
Yeah.
Bejarano.
Yeah, I believe it was Bejarano. But so just make sure you check the jockey on that, Steve.
yeah, sure will.
Hmm.
Here we go. Broken collarbone and a broken rib.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah.
Oh
Remained
boy.
hospitalized for several days under observation. Oh no,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that was a 2014 post. Okay. I don't know. Oh, that was probably, well, you know what? That's the one in 2014, Charisse. The one, remember? That's why he doesn't like
Yeah,
going in between horses.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
the race. I
that
just
was the
happened to pull
race.
up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hopefully whoever rides that horse takes the same approach because it
Yeah.
has speed. He's stuck out in the 12 hole. He's got to go. So I'll still put him in. All right. And then in the 12th race, I'm going to finish it off with the 7 and the 12. Midnight Majesty, Vasquez on board. And this is a 12-5 claimer. And the 12 Fifth Avenue. Arietta's on there for David Fox. And that is it. And the ticket is going to be $45. And
Oh,
I think we should
Great.
probably get $45 out of that. I would sure hope anyway. And that is it for our handicapping picks. Well, I tell you, we make little notes here and there about California racing and racing in general and the health of the sport and things along those lines. Well, certainly our guest today was very prominent in horse player rights, if you will, and certainly pushing to get the Pick Five lower takeout taken down here in California, and actually got a couple of the big racetracks to go for it. And Andy, can you give us a little history on that and what you think of our current state of affairs here in California racing?
Uh, Current state of affairs are pretty dire, in my opinion.
Yeah,
And that's because we don't have any alternative gaming revenue.
right.
Um, so that's kind of tough. But getting back to the Pick Five, in 2010, California Racing announced a hike and takeout. And the Horse Players Association of North America called a boycott. And nobody gave us a chance. But, a couple weeks into it, we were knocking down handle at Santa Anita 25%. And they began to get worried. So they began to invite us to meetings and things like that. And nobody wanted to put in the Pick Five. The only one from the TOC who had to give the final approval that actually went to all the meetings was Billy Koch. And I salute Billy till this day. But anyway, Santa Anita never put it in. They were way down in handle. Then I was working with Bernie Thurman of Hollywood Park, who was the VP under Jack Liebau, who was, by the way, Bernie was, you talk about females in racing, she was the first high ranking female executive. A very, very smart person. And they put it in, and it was instantly successful. And after that, I think the Breeders' Cup that year, they had the Pick Five, and I believe it had a carryover.
Mm.
And to this day, it has the record handle for any first race of the day bet. It was tremendous.
That's great.
So it was an interesting time with the boycotts. Back then, one of the things people need to understand, and if you go on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, most people who are good handicappers or handicap all the time think they know a lot about the industry and how the nuts and bolts work. And I was one of those people. I thought I knew. And as it worked out, as I began going to these meetings, I learned a lot about how things really work. and you meet some of the people that you're kind of attacking because of the boycott, and you find out they're not so bad. But they the people that call the shots had big egos. Most of them would not run their own businesses like they ran horse racing.
Mm.
And so it was bittersweet that we got it in. They didn't put any other low takeout wages after that for a while. But, you know, it's something I did, and it was fun being on the team with our negotiating team was me, Jeff Platt, Barry Meadow, Carolyn Betts, and Roger Way. And we had some spirited arguments with people in the industry, and it's something I'm glad I got involved in. I know a lot more about the industry now than I did then, but you gotta keep fighting, and it helps if you don't just voice your dissatisfaction on Twitter, which does help, but once in a while you got to show up
Mm-hmm.
in person.
Yeah.
Kind of the reason I went to the most recent Arizona symposium because they had a panel on CAW and other industry issues. And I showed up, voiced my opinion, but you meet a lot of people on the way, when you show up. And I think everybody should go to the symposium once in their lives. And I think everybody should go to the NHC once in their lives because it's an experience, and you kind of change your views about certain things and then dig in on other things. So
So you kind of opened the door on that CAW. So what was talked about, and what are we going to do about that? I mean, it's just so difficult when you've got what appears somebody that's got an unfair advantage on something like this.
I the example I use, I don't know if you guys play poker, but it's kind of like sitting at a poker table and you're given one guy the button where he gets to bet last, and you're giving him 15% of all the money he bets back from the pot. And it's completely insane. Um, I wouldn't mind if they were in the pools on a level playing field, and that's why I think there should be no rebates. Everybody should play in a level playing field, and whoever has the most skill and luck should win.
Right.
So what's going on now is completely unacceptable. I'm glad there's a lawsuit going about it. I think the lawsuit's going to be successful, and if it is, it might wipe out a third of the industry or half the industry, but maybe the industry needs to consolidate more handle and less venues.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a guy that we always play with at the various tracks and up at the Derby room here. And he just won't play a lot of tracks that have a heavy CAW. Like he says, I won't play Gulfstream, I won't play all these different tracks. He'll play Oaklawn because I guess Oaklawn is one of the ones that is for whatever he said. And again, I'm not going to try to spout knowledge I don't know about, but he said that Oaklawn is more on track handle, like real handle, real money handle versus some of the other tracks that all of a
They
sudden
do
you've got.
get good. They get good attendance. I've kind of been concentrating on these low takeout late pick threes.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
I think that's a bet. If you don't spread too much, but that's a bet you should kind of put in at the beginning of the day. I mean, it's like the payoffs are tremendous.
Yeah,
Yes.
they are.
Yes.
They are. We've said that. I've said that. I should stop talking about it. I say it so much, but yeah, we've hit between us on this show. We've hit those numerous times, and
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy. You could be paid 12, $16, and $160 later, and you could play it three times if you want. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
what's
Right,
wrong with that payout? It's ridiculous. Yeah, I
right.
love the late pick three, $3 late pick three, wonderful wager.
Yeah.
Um, The turf one is a little weird because you've got all these different races at different times. I don't think it's as much of a pool as the just the straight late, because the
Right,
late everybody
right.
knows the late pick three. It starts the third, second, and last race. That's it,
I think it's been handling over 300 grand, most
Yeah,
days, especially
yeah.
on Saturday and Sunday.
Mhm.
So, and it's low takeout. So the CAWs, they say the CAWs aren't in it, but they are a little bit, but they don't get the enormous rebates on that, when it's 15% takeout. So that
Mhm.
helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you talk about rebates, where are they getting the rebates from, Andy?
Well, the biggest ADW is Elite Turf Club, and I believe that they're based in Curacao, and very high volume players. I mean, some of these guys bet hundreds of millions
Mm.
each year, um, and they get rebates. Anywhere from 7-8% on one place and show to some of these tracks like Parks are getting over 20% on trifectas and whatnot.
Wow.
So
Huh.
they have a bankroll edge, a skill edge. They get to bet last, which is a big edge, and it's really unfair, and I attribute it to the industry being lazy, you know, 10, 15 years ago, and developing those types of players instead of everyday gamblers like us who we don't bet as much as they do, but we're loyal customers, and they've kind of backed themselves into a hole because the end result of the system that they have now is that the CAWs win all the money and less and less people play.
Mm. Yeah.
I, th I
Yeah.
think I think it's similar to what Las Vegas has done, where you get a $30 hamburger now, and
Right.
they just don't cater to the small guys, and all of a sudden now their hotel rooms are empty, and they wonder,
Yeah.
what the heck happened. Well, you made it whale only, and you didn't, and I know one of the CEOs, I think of God, was it Caesars or MGM not too long ago, actually said at one of those symposiums, he says, "Yeah, we cared too much about the big guy, and we screwed it up." He even said it. He admitted it.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got all these people that are in those casinos, and it doesn't take all those people if you're catering to, like, 20 whales. You
Yeah.
What,
gotta.
what what the gambling industry doesn't understand, and I've said this for years, is that the best marketing is word of mouth, and it's free. When people go to the races and they win, they go home and tell other people, and how'd you hear so and so won this or won that? So when you do that, other people say, if he can do it, I can do it, you know.
Yep, sure.
And that's kind of what made racing work years ago. And now, you know, you go to the track, they go home broke, and plus they spent 500 in the turf club on
Yeah.
drinks and stuff like that. I
Mhm.
mean,
Yeah.
people get excited, they win, they want to brag about it, and
Mhm.
horse racing just doesn't send home enough winners.
Mhm. And that's
Amen.
true. Steve was telling me about that, a couple of weeks ago, where, you can go to the track and just to get a hamburger and some nachos and a beer or whatever, you've
Yeah.
spent, $140 or whatever. And it's just,
Right.
Yeah.
they have to be better than that.
Yeah, I
We
agree.
have, I mean, right now, arguably the best racetrack food that I know of anyway is Los Alamitos. And we go to Los Al all the time. We'll
I've
play
heard
day
that.
racing from Los Al. We'll go night racing at Los Al, and we're doing that, in fact, Saturday. But we and now the for a French dip sandwich, it's $25 for a French dip sandwich and fries. You've got $5 iced tea. You have, if you want a pitcher instead of the refills, you can get a $10 pitcher of iced tea,
Mhm.
Right.
and they've got kettle potato chips for $12.
Yeah, our friend laughs about that. This is in Vessel's Club, by the way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the shrimp cocktail, what is it, $20 now?
Todd gets it, and
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
it's like
20 bucks, and
20,
you
it's
get,
more than that. Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah, it's
remember it's like
insane.
$5 a shrimp.
You know,
You
Yeah.
know,
the food in the front runner isn't bad. You know,
No.
yeah,
they make a good cheeseburger. I know. I always get a
yeah,
cheeseburger. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, their
And
pizzas
it's,
are good.
and I'm
Yeah.
okay with, charging 20 bucks for a burger, 20 to 25 bucks for a burger, but, nickel and dime and everything. And, if you want to have a few drinks,
oh, forget it. Then, you
forget
know,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
insane. I mean, what we do, and I don't want to sound super cheap here, but if we go there for day racing, we order iced tea. I'm bringing my iced tea cup out to the outside table for night racing, so I'm getting refills on it. I'm not going to spend another $10 for us to drink iced tea.
Yeah.
right,
It's
right.
just silly. It's just silly out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
Yeah.
think I think when people overextend and they think that they are the be all end all, and this is I think I think if horse racing can hang on, certainly in California, if it can hang on and stay even and maybe grow a little, but doesn't even need to grow. I think that all of the gambling hubs like Las Vegas and Reno and Atlantic City is already withdrawn. Biloxi, all these places that have, they're based on gambling are going to shrink up a little bit. You're
yeah,
going to find the smaller little places aren't going to be around. There's already plenty of casinos in Las Vegas that are hurting for certain. So I think you're going to find a lot of those shrink back a little bit, and their footprint's going to get smaller. And when that happens, I think that's when horse racing can come back in and get another foothold because horse racing is parimutuel. And that is the one big advantage you have. I mean, the four of us in one race can pick a different horse and we're all winning each other's money. I mean,
right.
sure, the house gets a little take, but it's not all house money. It's our money. And that's the thing I think that they always forget. And I'm sure you remember Roger Stein, always used
Yeah,
to,
I was on his show quite a bit. We were friends.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
That
He
Mm-hmm.
recently,
took a lot out of me
Mm-hmm.
working with him for a few years, you know.
yeah,
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he's that guy. But he was always saying that the horse player gets screwed, and
yeah.
that was his constant theme, and he was right. I mean, they do.
The one thing that's coming, that's already here, that's going to change everything are the prediction markets.
Yeah,
I think for the Super Bowl, Vegas handled like 113 million, and these guys are, handling a billion or more.
yeah,
And you could bet, like I bet on Kalshi,
yep,
and there's
yep,
so many different things you can bet. Um, and horse racing is going to probably have to adapt to that. I don't
yes,
know how they're going to do it, but it's coming.
Hmm.
yeah. I think that's what I mean, the win definitely in Vegas has reacted to that. I mean, they shrunk their horse profile incredibly. Last time we were there, we were like, all right, we're here. Let's play at the win, and it's like a little tiny corner over here,
Right, right.
and the rest with the big screens were football and whatever was going on. And we just said, all right, well, I guess the win is realizing that it doesn't pay to have a sports book there anymore. So yeah,
Yeah,
I think all those things, the prize picks, the underdog, the Kalshi, all those things are definitely taking money away, and they're all, and those you can do in California. So
right.
Yeah.
because it's predictions, that loophole, right?
Yeah,
I'm predicting that the Seahawks are going to beat the Patriots.
right, right.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway. Well, let's say a prayer for horse racing and gambling in general, because I know we all like to do it. All right,
Yes.
Yeah.
Mike, you had a question for Andy, I know.
Yeah. So Andy, we've all been at the track for many, many years. So what was your toughest bad beat that you can recall?
Uh, many years ago, there was a series called the Final 14 or something like that. And there was a race at Bay Meadows, and I was down to 20 bucks, and it was sloppy. And I put my last 20, I forgot the name of the horse. But anyway, it was sloppy, and the horse was in the middle of the track, one easy, everything, and I kind of it was 12 to 1. So I was kind of happy, you bail
Sure.
out. And it never came official for a long time, and then
Oh,
all of a
no.
sudden I see inquiry. I'm going, what the hell could this be? And it turns out Ricky Frazier, who was on the horse, when he weighed out, he was like 6 pounds lighter than he was
Oh,
supposed to. And they ended up disqualifying him. And I
Oh,
got pissed.
no.
I punched the door like an idiot and hurt my hand.
Oh
Well, that was a
no.
pretty bad beat.
yeah.
Oh,
Weighing out light, that's a tough one.
Yeah, that is. And so the other thing is, like we always say on the show, my biggest, hit was a little under 40,000 a couple years ago, and that was my biggest, hit at the racetrack. And so, what if you don't mind sharing, what was your best racetrack coup where you just were counting, sleeping with hundreds?
Well, you guys are going to flip out over this one.
Okay.
It was October of 1994. I went to the track with $80, and I liked a lot of horses that day that weren't favored. And just from the beginning, I kept hitting rolling doubles or I kept hitting everything. And it was a pick six carryover day. And I put in an $8 ticket. And every horse got a perfect trip. It was magical. And the last race came, I singled Lafitte Pink Eye on a horse named Bolger's Lead for Daryl Vienna.
Mhm.
I thought it might go to the lead, and he did at 16 to 1. And then it came in. On that pick six, it was paid over a little over
Oh,
$500,000. And then I also had, all the other ones, the late picks, I mean, everything. And
Oh my
I went with
gosh.
$80.
uh,
Wow.
So that was
Wow.
Oh,
great.
Wow.
But,
oh my
but,
God.
but that's back when I was a young maniac, and I pretty much blew it all in a year. Um,
yeah.
and they tell me I had a good time, but I don't remember. And then, gosh, it was 2 years later, I get this thing from the IRS telling me I owe them 300,000.
Oh, geez.
I'm flat broke, absolutely broke.
Yeah.
And I went through the audits, and I got the worst guy in the world. He was jealous that I even won.
Oh, no.
Kept giving me a hard
Oh,
time.
great.
Kept giving me a hard time. And even if they wanted to get money, I was broke. I really was. So uh, that was during the Clinton administration, and they had a big thing about the IRS being mean to people and all that. And then one day out of the blue, they called and they said, "Mr. Asaro, we don't believe you lost all that money, but we're not going to pursue it, and so you're clear."
Oh
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
excellent.
Wow. Yeah. Good job. Good job.
Good for
But
you.
that was when I was young and a little bit of a maniac.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yep.
great. Wow.
Yeah, maybe we all have an $8 500K ticket.
Yes.
My goodness
I'm gonna
gracious.
play an $8 ticket in memory of that ticket, Andy,
okay,
on Friday at Santa Anita. I'm gonna
there you go.
play an $8 ticket and see if I can get it home.
Yeah.
Traditionally I've done better on smaller tickets.
Yeah.
Like
Me
Yeah.
too.
when I put
Me
in bigger
too.
tickets, it really means maybe I don't have a solid opinion. And the
Mhm.
races I spread the
Yeah.
most, I lose those more often than when I have one or two horses in a
Yeah.
race.
Yeah.
I agree. I
Well, my
agree.
Yeah.
tickets are always small, so
Yeah.
Right.
You'll learn that about Charisse, Andy, if as you become a friend of the show, which is you're already a friend of the show, and
I
I
appreciate that. I
yeah,
appreciate it.
and Andy, as a friend, I've known you. I went to Santa Anita and I met you there, and I just really appreciate, like we always say, the three of us, we just want to have fun and get good people on here.
Mhm.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
You know,
Well,
that's
maybe
all.
I'll meet you guys at Santa Anita one day,
Yeah.
That'd be
one
great.
weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. You know it.
Yeah.
You know it, man. We got your number saved now, so and we'd like to have you back. So hopefully we
Sure.
can do this again. Maybe we'll do it after the NHC when you win it.
Yeah. Yes.
That's another very difficult thing for a
Uh-huh.
old school guy like me. You got 8 tracks a day, and
Yeah.
if you study and probably you're talking like 16 hours of studying.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Tiring.
crazy,
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's by the time you're done, your eyes want to fall out of your head. It's
Sure.
Oh,
oh
wow.
my God.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
But
think
Well, Andy, when you
everybody
win
should
it,
go at least once.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when
That's
you win it,
awesome.
Andy, well, when you win it, we're giving you good vibes. So when you win it, can you
I'll,
promise to come
I'll,
back
I'll come
on when
back
you win
on and
it?
I'll pick up the tab at Santa Anita if we go one weekend.
that's the deal.
Yes.
We'll get one of
There you
those
go.
those $25 cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes. I
yeah,
want to, Andy.
absolutely.
All right, guys. Well, hey, thank you again, Andy, for coming on, and
Thanks for
thank you to
having me on.
everybody out there.
I had a lot of fun.
That's
Yep,
great. I'm glad you did.
good,
Glad you
good.
did.
And we always sign off like the old dating game on a kiss for luck. Goodbye, everybody.
Good luck. Andy, good luck
Goodbye.
at the NHC.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Good
Thank you
luck,
very
bud, at
much.
the NHC. Good luck.
All right. Thank you.
Bye,
Okay.
guys.
Okay.